No need to hold yourself back, Danny. You can just tell it like it is. Their behavior was no different from bandits. Whew. You've got me there. Some said you couldn't even find a dictionary in Castrum Kremnos. So there are too many books in the Library of Philia. Flipping through them all will take too long. Why don't we use the Biblioslate to search for the texts we need? We can bring them back to Alchemy for reading after that. It's so dusty in here. I can already see what they must have written. Why else would they call him the Great Performer? When Anaxer established his school of thought, the first thing he apparently did was read his own work to everyone. Are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think gods should be? Worlds created by gods are indubitably perfect, but what of Amphorius? They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could finish. Though what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the scholars' allegations, or face expulsion from the Grove. The first allegation was... Do you agree that since the Titans created the heavens and earth, so the mountains, rivers, and seas must likewise be their creations? Anaxa would have probably been spared a lot of trouble if he had answered this way. Instead, he quoted past instances of the Flame Chase journey and posited that humans have the potential to take over the divinity of Titans. Needless to say, his critics didn't take kindly to his answer, so they followed up with a second allegation. You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact, defiling them and committing acts condemned by the gods. Do you admit it? Anaxa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when alone. Every being in the world owes their safekeeping to Kifili, and this is even more so for the Chrysos heirs who have divine blood coursing through them. If he has really done something of that nature, then it'd indeed be sacrilegious. Thankfully, they had no way to prove it, so it amounted to nothing more than an allegation in the end. One by one, Anaxa engaged in wars of words against those who would challenge him. Toward the end, a scholar asked him, Anaxagoras, have you any respect for the gods? It was only after a brief silence that he answered, I have never denied that Titans are meant to be noble constructs. Yes, I'm not sure how that controversy was eventually resolved, but what's for certain at least is that Anaxa was allowed to stay in the Grove where he continued his research, despite being regarded as a heretic. By the way, this stack of complaint letters has reminded me of a place in the Grove. We may find clues there that aren't on the teleslate. I'm talking about Anaxa's alchemy lab, hidden between the cornerstones. It's a well-kept secret. Among the 7 sages, excluding the nominal chief sage, each has a private sanctuary where they can conduct research undisturbed in their free time. Even the administrators of the Library of Philia are restricted from accessing those places and documenting the sage's research. But with the Grove in this state, I'm sure Anaxa won't be mad even if we sneak into the lab for a short while. Right? the place. But materials for alchemical experiments, matrix diagrams, and even the seal to the lab, they're all gone. Did the black tide destroy it all? No, not even close. Not only are alchemy experiments high-risk activities, but Professor Anaxa also has a penchant for using bizarre materials. Students often saw him walk in looking bright as rain, but come out covered in soot with his hair singed. Naturally, no one dared to come near this place. Huh? That bookshelf over there seems to be the only thing still intact. What's going on? Anaxa is conducting research on our friends in Alchemy and me? It wouldn't have been so strange if he had focused only on Cassie, given her own curiosity about her origins. Plus, considering that the new sporists have crafted omnipotent medicines capable of curing diseases, it also makes sense that he would conduct research on immortal Chrysos heirs. But now, it seems Anaxa's objective was never to create medicine, but to identify the origin of the golden blood and figure out its inner workings. Danny, look at this. I have a bad feeling about this. My biggest fear. It's come true. After going through his notes, I think I can piece it all together now. Anaxa was carrying out experiments on soul transmutation. Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. Something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something. Do you remember when the black tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send Circe's core flame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaxa lost his life in the process. That's right. But what if Professor Anax's fusion with the core flame of reason wasn't an accident. Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the black tide was closing in and your time was running out, what would you have done? Exactly. When the black tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the Luminary Throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core flame. No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Circe's would make a similar decision. The manuscripts detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. Like, what? There's only one Titan left in the world now. No. No way.
Experiment on Kephalese.
He's after Kephalese.
Sir, this sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection device used for educational purposes. A simple trick. The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students like you may still learn about the night sky, astronomers have harnessed the Titan's miraculous power to manipulate the light. Much like how the sky above the holy city is also illuminated by Kephale's dawn device.
So, the skies of Alchemy are fake too.
You mustn't conclude that, Anaxa. You should know that only a child would expose a trick and be proud of it. Often people know more than they let on. They simply choose to feign ignorance because they have no other choice.
Then they're just deluding themselves. People believe in Kephale's tale of Genesis, accepting wholesale whatever the priests preach. But we are different. We have already realized that we live in a world where Titans make the rules. Even when we look at the sky, we're only seeing what they allow us to see. Rather than gazing at this mockery of a night sky fabricated by them for the rest of my life, why shouldn't I be the one to take control of the projection device instead?
So much time has passed since you sowed the seeds of doubt in my heart, child. Many a night, I find myself penning down all my theories and wild ideas, only to burn them to ashes when I open my eyes in the day.
Why? Because we'll face death by burning if word gets out?
As a sage of the Venerationists, my soul has already become inextricably linked to the great tree. Every word I say and every move I make is certain to influence every leaf, every branch, even the tree itself. But above all else, my days are numbered. Instinctively, I have my doubts about the golden blood and the human soul, yet I have no means of verifying them. The golden blood in my veins is woefully thin, and I am loath to waste what little time I have left obsessing over a hypothesis that cannot even be proven in the first place.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time is right. Give me all that I need, and I shall accomplish this grand feat on your behalf.
You're right. I shall do just that. In the next meeting of the sages, I will spare no efforts fighting for the rights you deserve. Go. Establish your own school of thought. Find out what we are. Become the one who conquers the ultimate truths of the world.
Child of humanity. You didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kephale. Just ask him a few questions, did you?
So, it out if I were as foolish as a Dromus. Perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm no Dromus. Alas, I am a human, standing tall on 2 feet, possessing both intellect and pride.
Before such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they didn't just give up and become sitting ducks. No. They constructed a dam that kept the roaring tide at bay, chaining down the mad Fagusa. They call me a blasphemer, Circes. But that doesn't mean I deny the existence of gods. It's just as I see it. Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans when I can do so much more? The source of life is what I wish to grasp, to understand what makes up the soul, and to learn what we really are. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. But where there is death, there is life. And how then is a soul born? That was the only unknown variable left in my calculations.
And by the sound of it, you have already formed a conjecture.
No, I have already drawn a conclusion. In my journey unto death just now, I finally saw the answer with my own eyes.
Professor Anaxa, I'm here. His life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end and give you the answer you so desire. However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange.
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and his survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life. There is no need for me to think twice.
I see. In that case, let the show begin.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now. But that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you would remember, because that wasn't you. That was Calypso.
Calypso?
Huh? Oh, that's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. living cannot step foot into that world. So who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness? The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint you?
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that, but it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. If I'm reborn as Kefali, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did.
I have news from Hyacinth and Danhung.
Kefali? But what could Anaxa want?
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his tricks.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kindness is up to. At being Akima's political center, the Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Someday, after my duty is over, this site will take the place of the battlefield where you hunt gods. Because till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
Preposterous! The Christos heirs only have their standing because of the Council of Elders!
It's been a while. What is that supposed to mean? Is this really the sort of person that the young lord praised as a ferocious...
It has indeed been some time, Lord.
Shh! Keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those duplicitous dogs? I've already ordered my people to hold them back. But we should...
My bad.
Did you hear thunderclaps last night? Packer... What?
He's been through a lot lately. Please...
Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord.
Watch out. The Flame Reaver is back.
I guessed as much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
I figured this is something you would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out to me anytime.
You have my gratitude. I will let Aglaya know about this right away.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious Kindness has been unusually active lately. Those lackeys she keeps under cover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the council.
That's...
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Crateros.
By Kefali and scintillant and above as the Theoros I have observed.
Aglaya, what happened here?
I know about the poisonous fangs of that king snake through the golden threads. In the past, I would be confident about keeping her in check, but I admit I am now unable to do so.
What do you mean?
It is no longer about eloquence or arguments. I have been a demigod for far too long, that I hardly have any humanity left. Before I realized it, I have become no different from these hypocrites, no longer capable of relating to the people. This has come a lot sooner than I expected. But perhaps it is time. I need you to step up, Finan, in order for me to retreat behind the scenes.
Yes, this is my duty.
It is far easier for the Council of Elders to fool many than just fool one person. Their so-called more support is no more than a ruse to distribute power using words instead of lances. There is no glory in winning this debate, but that makes having respect for humans so much more priceless. Finan, you are a Chrysos heir without flaw, capable of relating deeply with humans.
I appreciate what you've taught me, Aglaya. I hope.
Oh, you've done well, Lord Calictus. Let me take over and personally close this debate for today. Dearest counselors, let it be known that I sorely miss the blissful times portrayed in lyrical poems. Back yet, in the present, people from all over are forced to leave their homeland to seek refuge in the holy city where they hope to rest under Kefali's protection. All of us have long been in the same boat with no way out of this plight. We didn't have a choice in the past, but now the Council of Elders brings to the table a new possibility. All I have left is one question for you. Would you rather strive toward the unheard of Era Nova, or return to the prosperous Era Chrysia of our past? Make your choice. Now, which of the two would lead mortals to an ideal future?
We all know that Era Chrysia is a thing of the past, Lady Kainas. Please, enlighten me. How does the Council of Elders plan to turn back time?
Let the three Titans of Calamity be born, and Era Chrysia is nevermore. But bring demise to those Titans, and Era Chrysia will descend upon us again. Know that the Council of Elders is never one to make empty promises. Look at who we have on our side. Anaxagoras, one of the Grove's 7 sages. And Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death. With the help of these 2 heroes, I can promise all of you that Era Chrysia will exist once more.
Aren't they Chrysos heirs? They're supporting the Council of Elders instead?
It's clear from the start that these heroes do not get along well in their group. All the more proof that Aglaya isn't fit to speak on behalf of every Chrysos heir. I am in favor of Era Chrysia.
Era Chrysia! Era Chrysia! Castorus? Why are you standing over there?
You finally arrived, Naxa. So have you, Cass.
Don't worry, Aglaya. Well, I know that you have many queries. Could you continue to converse like how the citizens normally do? Tell me, dear citizens, if we successfully retreat and return Thanatos' core flame, without anyone passing the Death Titan's trial, what would happen next?
The answer is simple. We will have a chance to rid the world of death and bring Amphorius back to an era when all beings live forever. We'll usher in a new future that will be entirely different from the Flame Chase journey.
He's one of the seven sages.
Your proposal is much too idealistic. As long as the Black Tide still exists, how can we go back to the old days?
Remember what I previously said? Kefali's core flame is guarded by the secret power of the Council of Elders. Plus, Fagusa's water curtain will be able to block out any external perceptions. Tell me, dear citizens, have any of you ever seen even a glimpse of the threat that this person is talking about anywhere within the walls of this majestic holy city?
Oh? Could it be that you heard that from the Flame Reaver themselves? Citizens, let's loudly sing the blessed hymn. Oh, beautiful old world, where are you now? Oh, legendary Erechrysia, return to the mortal realm!
After the destruction of the 3 Titans of Calamity, the Flame Chase journey will have to end.
Erechrysia! Yes!
This is bad. The masses are now totally riled up.
Anaxa, pray tell. Everything that you've mentioned hinges on the premise that we can find Thanatos' existence, right?
Thank you, Lady Aglaya, for still caring about this city. For Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death, will surely find Thanatos under my guidance.
What? With that, I solemnly promise that the core flame Lady Castorus brings back will be personally managed by the Council of Elders. Thereafter, if we are able to garner the support of all of you at the Citizens' Assembly, we shall spare no effort in ensuring that the Erechrysia will return to our world once again.
With the balance shattered, the result is clear. By Kefali and Talent and above, as the Theoros I have observed. Alchemy has chosen her destiny. The issue up for discussion at this Citizens' Assembly shall be modified to the suspension of the Flame Chase journey. This resolution shall be put up on the Wall of Heroes, such that all citizens are aware of the city's way forward.
Aglaya, dear Aglaya, what has caused your heart to soften? You also don't seem to be as quick-witted as before.
Wag your tongue as much as you like. Since the Flame Chase journey has been preordained by the prophecy, our failure has never been on the cards.
Well then, I guess we'll find out if that's true at the Citizens' Assembly.
Well, it seems that when I sent you to look for Anaxa, I unintentionally facilitated your partnership with him instead.
My apologies, everyone. I know that you have many questions to ask me. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge.
In that case, please tell us as much as you can.
In actuality, he showed me a past that was both long and heavy.
The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was
Anaxa.
yes.
Have you heard of this tale before? A tale about the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. It was a seaside town which enjoyed the ocean breeze and glorious, peaceful times. Until one day, an evil dragon descended upon the town. It barged into the queen assembled 300 warriors who managed to subdue the evil dragon by chaining it up. However, when the queen slit open the dragon's belly, it was then that a devious, smooth-talking scholar arrived at the palace and suggested that the princess could be revived. Through the use of dragon bone, the princess was reborn. The queen was overjoyed, blissfully unaware that the evil dragon's soul still lurked within the princess's body. As revenge, the evil dragon swallowed the poor queen, the glib liar, the courageous warriors. Worse still, the souls of the deceased were refused entry to the Netherrealm because they were filled with regret. Forced to roam the mortal realm, these resentful souls ultimately converged into a river of souls. The terrifying death had consumed all. Thereafter, our hometown fell into ruin as well.
Until?
Actually, I don't know what happened next either.
Oh, my. It seems that you still like to whet people's appetites even after all this time, Pelixia. So, according to your story, this is how I used to look? And yet, what exactly is this?
A miracle that I created with alchemy. As for what it is and how I was able to accomplish it, I'll keep the answers to myself for now.
Oh, my goodness. Is this cliffhanger really necessary?
Quiet, Titan. Continue to enjoy this splendid play.
Dragon, huh? I've heard this legend before.
In that case, what do you think of it?
I think that this so-called alchemy was a tenuous analogy added to the story by future generations.
Indeed. Before I left home to pursue my education, I never even knew that anybody was looking into this area of study.
Therefore, we can just treat this tale as a fable told to young children.
A fable, you say? If so, what moral is it trying to impart to the kids?
I guess it might be the concept of equivalent.
Oh? I thought the moral might be closer to something like honor the dead. What? At a loss for words?
No. I merely realized that we're both thinking of the same principle. If life is priceless, then there is hardly anything else in this world that is of equal weight to it, right?
Indeed. As expected of the wisest scholar in the land.
You flatter me. Why don't I ask you a question as well?
Of course. What is your question?
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
What? What kind of strange question is this? I got it. You're just trying to get me to tell you whether I like anyone, right?
Let's just leave it at that. That was rude of me.
Yes, I would.
Oh?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I'm certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good, if such a mighty power really existed. I think I would use it without hesitation. After all, you, me, and the rest will all have to face that fateful moment eventually. My time is finally here. However, perhaps because of my firm belief in the immeasurable value of life, unable to complete the trial.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. It is a pity that fate is such a cruel mistress.
Is there no other way of interpreting those words?
I'm afraid that the meaning is clear. Between my sister and me, one must pay the price. Our trial can only be completed when the one chosen sacrifices her life. I'm afraid that the prophecy might even have selected a pair of twins.
Fortune makes fools of us all.
My sister is prepared to sacrifice herself. And yet, I can't do the same. How absurd. My time is almost up, but I'm still afraid to welcome death. What should we do?
Since Chaos is willing to guide all of us and leave this trial to the end, there is still plenty of time for you to ponder.
That's right. Don't allow the fog of an uncertain future to cloud your mind.
Trial, prophecy, the topics that they're discussing seem familiar. But these three people must not have left their names in the epics. Otherwise, I would have some recollection of this.
Amphorius's history before the Titans were born was complete chaos. I have long held 3 hypotheses about this. However, let's continue watching for now.
Calypso, and this warrior.
Regarding this matter, Nias, are you confident that you'll complete your trial?
Of course. Though, I am worried about what will happen once I've emerged victorious.
Looks like you have made up your mind.
Yes, this is the safest course of action.
Completely separating courage, honor. You really...
Please, young lady.
I do not understand. Why would you dare to sacrifice yourself for a future that you won't get to witness?
Because this is our destiny. The power that resides within. Furthermore, a valorous death before glorious return has always been the path I chose to walk.
I'm not that brave. I don't know how I'm supposed to face such a serious affair.
Despite, let's chat, young lady. Perhaps I shouldn't end my journey so hastily, since there's still time.
Of course. This warrior is Lord Nias. As the embodiment of Nikador's divinity, he entrusted his life to us and allowed humankind to end his madness. That means that what I'm currently seeing before my eyes is, in fact...
Looks like one hypothesis of mine has already been proven true. These heroes are the true forms of the Titans, before they attain their divinity. If so, the chosen one of death that he speaks of is actually...
Polixia! Is the previous form of Thanatos? But her appearance...
If this is true, as long as we can find out where she went, we'll naturally be able to figure out the location of the Death Titan.
But before that, we first need to witness what ultimately happened to Lord Nias.
tenacity.
And finally, the only thing that remains is reason.
Cheer up, young lady. There is no need to shed tears over a glorious death.
All farewells in this world are sorrowful, Lord Nias.
The fuck? Don't do this.
No, young lady. As a warrior, I have witnessed too many bitter deaths. But now, all I feel is peace. I did not know until this moment that mortals could live their lives in such a way.
Although only a sliver of your soul remains, you remain so optimistic. Or maybe...
To be honest, I don't know either. But I am certain of one thing. This is not an acceptance of death nor apathy toward it. It's not even a feeling of despair. I am just enjoying what remains of my life to the fullest.
Enjoying?
Indeed. Along this journey that we've taken together, not only have I changed the world, I myself have also changed in the process. And now I have reached the journey's end. When I look back and see the grand epic that I've personally written, how could I not revel in that fact?
But when you depart the mortal realm, separation and death are two sides of the same coin. Reconciling this doesn't come easily for a mortal.
Finally, let me recount to you a story of mine, young lady. The first time I returned from the battlefield, I felt extremely hollow. The calamity had devoured everybody on the battlefield but me. When I returned to the city alone, the citizens held a banquet for me that was far from pleasant. It was late into the night by the time the banquet ended. It was a crazed scholar looking at the night sky and muttering to himself by the side of the road. Although I tripped over him and fell, I wasn't angry in the slightest. And maybe because I saw myself in him, I inexplicably asked him a question. Do you think that it'd be better if we just died on the roadside like a couple of stray dogs? To my surprise, he shrugged his shoulders and sighed.
How does someone who is currently experiencing death, dying and living, afford the same amount of bliss? Now please, go away and don't block my starlight.
Are you trying to say that there is no difference between living and dying? For they are both journeys that lead toward death?
That's exactly what life is, and death is but a scale to measure how valuable the journey was. Therefore, young lady, don't detest your fate.
The embodiment of strife telling me about the majesty of the world?
Indeed. I believe that when the fated moment eventually arrives, you will be able to understand my words. It is time for me to knock on death's door. When that moment finally comes, let us drink and be merry then.
I knew this day would eventually come.
Are the both of you ready?
Mm-hmm. Calixia, I'm here. What? This...
This is quite interesting indeed.
Is it me?
Now, it's time for us to fulfill our promises. Are you afraid? What are you afraid of?
That I won't be able to do it.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. As foretold in the prophecy, and according to our vows, once it all ends, we must face our fated moment head-on.
Even if it was prophesized, do we have no say in the matter? It's so unfair. Why are we the only ones who are forced into mutual destruction? Let me do it, sister. Let me be death sacrifice. I was never long for this world anyway. But you're different. I was the one who wasted your life after all.
You're wrong, Polixia. I don't think that my life was wasted. Just the opposite. When I finally arrived at this destination and looked back at the journey I took, I discovered that flowers had long since bloomed along the path I walked. It was you who sowed the seeds for this sea of flowers, one that is more beautiful than the promised land at the end of the world. Besides, I have lived a fulfilling life. Even though I was fated for sacrifice, none of the things that I've experienced will dissipate. Instead, they'll forever live on as memories inside your head. Will they not?
How could my memories of you ever compare to the actual you?
Well then, tell me. What exactly are we?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But regardless of what the answer is, regardless of how we're shaped by others, or even by this world, ever since we were born, the fact that we existed was predestined, and nothing could erase it. This is why I will always, always be by your side. We're twins, after all. All right, my dear Polixia. It's time to extract my heart and light the flame of death. After that, use it to plant the first bud in the prophesied new world.
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you love?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I am certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. Even now, my answer remains the same. This is why, sister, I promise you, In the prophesized new world, I shall plant the first bud on your behalf. Go now. Return to the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. I shall open wide the entrance to the Netherrealm and grant you a second life. The living beings on this earth shall respond to my call and lead you to the sacred daylight. Remember, do not look back on the land of the dead, and do not stop moving. In the new world promised by the prophecy, march toward your new life. As for the price of our equivalent exchange, let me be the one to pay it.
Everybody, we've come to the end. Unfortunately, I am not compatible with the Supreme Being, so I was unable to completely fuse their soul into my own body. I'm certain of this now. Before the Titans that we are well acquainted with were born, a group of heroes roamed the land. These heroes followed a prophecy and took possession of divine authorities one by one, until they eventually became the pantheon of the new world. Just like the flame chase journey of today, Amphorius's history is cyclical in nature.
What a startling revelation. This means that the demigods, who bear the core flames, will also become the new titans at the world's end.
I believe that this is the truth behind the Era Nova, as mentioned in the prophecy.
This is utterly unbelievable. Besides, those twins in the past, even if they really are Thanatos, their whereabouts are still unknown even today.
Are their whereabouts truly unknown? Didn't Polixia mention that seaside town? In our world, there exists a city which perfectly matches that description. Styxia.
But the people there worship Fagusa and bear no relation to Thanatos. I've also never been to that place, as in the time of Idonia, it had long turned into underwater ruins.
Take this.
This is...
the new Sporist masterpiece. The Philosopher's Stone. It was made by transmuting all of the sages' wisdom into a single entity, with their flesh and blood as its foundation. Remember? I've mentioned before that the art of alchemy is all about conversion, tempering, and ascension. Think about the story of the dragon. This stone will lead you to your real hometown, allowing you to reform the door to the Netherrealm and discover Thanatos' fate.
You still look as confident in your victory as ever. But what if your conjecture is wrong?
Simple. I shall merely admit to the entire world that my experiment was a failure. However, my line of thinking will not fail because I have already planted the seeds of doubt into the hearts of the masses. Actions speak louder than words, Castoris. With the assembly about to begin, don't forget the promise you've made.
I've already searched for so long. I'm willing to try one more time. While we converse, his life is also slowly slipping away. But before I leave, I have another question. What exactly did we witness just now?
That was the world imprinted in Kefali's soul. If we are to prove its existence, you must take the final step. Go.
I understand.
Hey, child of humanity.
Don't I still remember the question you posed to me. As a scholar, I do not wish to offer up ambiguous conclusions. Let's discuss this topic again when she manages to find the evidence.
I merely wanted to ask, was that stone transmuted from your heart? If so, rebirth is no longer an option for you.
Why not? When I was a child, I lost someone dear to me. When I was a teenager, I lost my faith. A while back, although you saved my life, I also lost my soul in the process. Now I'm merely forsaking my body.
Why are you always finding ways to die? Isn't it good to be alive?
This is but a necessary sacrifice on my path to transform into the purest.
Can someone who's dead even claim to be the purest of them all?
No, it's just the opposite. It means that I can actually ascend to godhood and reshape this absurd world that you all have created.
That's a lot to take in at once.
Lady Aglaia, please, let me explain.
Go on.
You know that the core flame of death has always been the greatest unknown regarding the Era Nova, which is why both you and Kindness desire to gain the power to control that core flame in the approaching Citizens' Assembly. Professor Anexa has come to a consensus with Kindness. They want to suspend the trial once Thanatos' core flame is reclaimed, hoping thus to eradicate death from this world. But I know this runs counter to your wishes. So long as we do not usher in Era Nova, the Black Tide will never be eradicated. Even with Lord Mighty on the front line, and the Black Tide not posing an immediate risk, the danger nevertheless remains. Honestly, it's difficult for me to assess the pros and cons in this decision. But someone must bring the core flame before we can begin negotiations over it. The Titan could be very near. I cannot let this chance slip by. Besides...
Well said. You already had every reason to seek an audience with Thanatos. It's that great performer who has weaponized your wishes and placed us in this difficult situation. A world without death. Do you desire that?
If fate dictates that my path must oppose yours, I will do all I can to resist it and protect what I aspire to achieve. Lord Mighty showed me that without taking the first step, all talk of what follows is moot.
I have always hoped to hear you speak your mind, Cass. And I am glad to have heard your true thoughts, Styxia. I visited that place in the past. Go. I will not stand in your way. As for you, you are someone who has cheated death. Castoris, I too look forward to your journey. I wonder what kinds of new interpretations your completed story will bring to the Flame Chase journey.
Thank you, Lady Aglaia.
I hate to put a damper on this heartwarming moment, but if Styxia is now an island surrounded by the river of Soul's torrents, then how do we find a way in?
The answer is quite simple. In the Myths, Zagreus once made the domain of the dead their treasure vault. That is to say, they could enter and leave the Netherrealm as they please, and if they could do that, then it follows that the demigod who inherited their divinity must be capable of the same. I'll see you at Marmorial Palace at Action Hour tomorrow. Cypher shall be your guide to finding that ancient city.
you win? What a glorious defeat. You sure know how to look on the bright side. Well, moving on. I was hard at work even while you were at the debate. I borrowed a mountain of books from Cass to see if I could find a way to solve your problem. Let's see. I still have only 32 books to go. Really? Oh, that's fantastic news. I knew it. Hard work always pays off. Especially if you're as diligent as Mem. I feel like a huge burden has finally been lifted off my shoulders. Why are my eyelids so heavy all of a sudden? You're right. Then I'll go back to... Cass?
Lady Treby.
Is something troubling you?
I just wanted to speak to Lady Trian for a bit before I set off. No matter how breathtakingly beautiful Styxia once was, the place is now the domain of the departed. There is no telling what we'll encounter there. I don't want to have any regrets.
Has anyone told you that your eyes are sparkling today?
Is that a figure of speech?
In the past, when you did smile once in a while, all of us could see that your heart remained troubled even as you smiled.
Lady Treby, you know perfectly well that see you tomorrow is nothing but a white lie. I hope your toughness is not a mask hiding a lonely heart.
Cass, you hardly ever talked of your past. None of us knows what you went through, apart from Maggie. But we know it must have been filled with pain and hardships, as it is the fate every Chrysosaur is destined to live out. We are just happy for you that the core flame you're meant to inherit has finally surfaced.
Isn't it a little too soon to say that?
But you already know where tomorrow is, don't you? There is no need to rely on anyone else. Just give it your all and leave no regrets. We have always believed that your embrace is just as warm as everyone else's, because we embrace others to comfort them. And Cass, you're the kindest Chrysosaur we know.
Thank you, Lady Treby. This feeling... it's hard to put into words. I suddenly found myself with so many wishes. So much I want to accomplish before setting off.
Then go do it, Cass! Trian was actually working on a surprise gift for you. It's a pity she didn't get to finish it. But now Trinan and I are working on it, and we'll make sure to give it to you. So, let's meet back here when you return from Styxia. Safe travels. See you tomorrow!
It's me. I hope I didn't wake you. I'm glad to see you're as full of life as ever. I'm here because of private matters, actually. If it isn't too much to ask, I'd really like it if you could come along with me to retrieve something. soul. Oh. Then I'm glad you're feeling fine. It isn't a long way from here. Shall we?
Have you heard? Seems like all the rooms
Faith can dispel the black tide.
The streets are packed.
I want to vote!
Take your ceramic shard engraved with the Kefali rune, select the Council of Elders in your heart, and pray silently until the shard registers. Here's your choice.
The Council of Elders? More like the Council of Buffoons? The Black Tide took my hometown long ago! Who are they kidding with bringing back—
The Titans are just. So long as we do not overstep our bounds again.
Oh, please. The time when these deranged Titans should have vacated their spot to the demigods is long over.
And I pray that Talantan smacks some sense into you with their scale.
That was... I suppose peaceful is technically correct if no actual violence happened. To this day, I still find it almost unreal that Alchemy is the only place illuminated by light amidst the crumbling ruins of Amphorius. And its people are even holding votes to reconcile differing opinions. This peaceful sight is making me forget that this is the end times. Before coming here, I had lived for many years in Idonia, a city of rime and frost. The people there were devotees of Thanatos, and were well known for their unique burial rites and traditions. Traditions that I played a major role in. Yes. You now know me as the Mortician of Alchemy. But back in those days, I was Idonia's Maiden of War. I was trudging across the frosty plains on my own when the Idonians found me. They saw the curse in me as a blessing from Thanatos, and believed that my hands could correct the Arachrysia's mistake and lead them to meet the great god of death. They provided me shelter, but in return... But back in those days, I was Idonia's Maiden of War. I was trudging across the frosty plains on my own when the Idonians found me. I was expected to grant merciful deaths to war captives, prisoners bound for execution, and heroes alike. Yes, no matter how kind or cruel the means, nothing can change the essence of death. Taking away someone's life is never worthy of religious worship. I can't do it. Their voices, they pierce my ears. The pleading. Thanks.
I know that feeling, child. But you must respect those walking towards death.
What you're asking me to do is no better than the task of an executioner. And yet you want me to respect myself. No matter the titles, I am still taking away human lives.
This won't be the first time that Idonia's fanatical nether warriors have faced death. Death is the mightiest and gravest power in this world.
That's such a twisted reason.
Then let me tell you a story. In Idonia, the great sword's the sword has 3 air holes along its body. If the sword is swung down swiftly and accurately, but should the executioner have any hesitation, the holes would produce a piercing whistle. Every executioner after Dracon is to hone their sword skills every day in preparation of future executions. Every swing of their blade must be more resolute than the last. Pain for the dying, as well as pain for themselves.
No. I can never get used to this.
You misunderstand. I'm asking you to consider the source of the dead's suffering, and use that knowledge to fortify your future touches with more and more determination. Go, walk with the dead, and love them as you love life. Then you'll no longer hear those noises.
Please, don't kill me. I don't want to die.
This is your duty.
Thank you. I beg you.
If you cannot learn to accept death, then Idonia has no place for you. This is your last chance. Do it.
No! Please! I don't want to die! Please! I'm begging you! No!
May you gain some insights through his sacrifice.
Is this all?
No. This is just the beginning.
You executioner!
Holy maiden! Go. Grant her glorious death.
Do it then, executioner.
You heard him.
Fighting the west wind, away we go!
May death protect us!
Little
nothing to do with me.
I have aged. The final resting place of every Idonian.
You're not that old yet. You still have many, many years ahead of you.
No. I'm already dead, or I have come to fear my... Castoris. Will you give me one last chance to charge towards fear and prove that I am no coward?
I can't take this anymore!
Child, it was I who brought you here from the frosty plains and set your farcical fate in motion. I've always known that you have doubts and even anger about my faith.
I never had a choice.
Indeed. We essentially abducted you. Yet you can end any sinful life with just a touch of your fingers.
I'll never do that. It doesn't matter how lightly the Idonians take death, or how readily they accept it. I simply can't do it. What do you mean?
I've taught you and cared for you as my own daughter all this time because of this blessing that's been with you since your birth. In the eyes of an Idonian, death is the end of all life. A destination we will all eventually reach. You can only live your life to the fullest after understanding this principle. And when you do, even if you eventually leave Idonia's protection...
No! How can I?
Come now. It's time. Show me that you are a fitting holy maiden. Come now. It's time. I've already taught you all that I know. Show me that you are a fitting holy maiden. Or at least that you possess the resolve to become one.
Emerge from your cocoon.
Like the west wind, let me go!
Bloom.
May death protect us! As you wish. This was the last time I followed her command. I gently touched the elderly woman before me. The executioner, who had seen too much death, died the same way as everyone else. A gasp for air, a wistful look in her eyes, and a barely perceptible tremor in her fingertip. Elder Amonette, the person who tried to teach me about death, ultimately vanished like dew in the morning mist. She spent her life embodying the beliefs of the Idonians, and when death finally came, she embraced it exactly as their doctrine had taught. I have nothing but respect for her. I erected a cenotaph in her honor in the marshes outside Idonia's city walls with the others I had laid to rest. It was a long, long journey. I heard so many discussions about death along the way. It seems the most terrible darkness in this world. Everyone talks about its heavy weight. Some resist it, some worship it, and some even revere it. How did a disappeared titan become the deepest fear of humankind? And why do they haunt my dreams? I continued my travels to seek an answer. Initially, I was running away. Then, I started searching for it. And now, at the end, I just want to know if my touch, if my embrace, can do more than taking things away. Can I make anything? Can I leave anything behind?
I don't want to die. Please, I'm begging you, just let me go. I don't want to die, please. I don't want mercy like this. Just let me go. I need it. I don't.
I hate these icy hands.
Get it over with. End its suffering. The Reaper has blessed your hands. Only you can grant them peace. Embrace death. Walk alongside it.
That's so cute. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. She's just a little girl.
death summon, crossing into their domain. I must go too. I don't fear it, just I have some regrets. Watching people leave this world again and again, it must be lonely for you. You must want to desperately embrace them before they go. I can't. These hands, they're too cold. But Big Sister Castoris, your hands are so warm. Just like anyone else's. So go on. Don't hold back.
Give me a warm hug.
Oh, she's so lonely. That's sad. She just wants to be a normal girl.
Can hands like these really be warm? On the day that Ornyx's trial ended, you must have had many questions. I felt just as confused. Why, as someone from beyond the sky, were you so cruelly dragged into Amphorius's fate? I wished I could take action, but no matter how hard I try, I cannot simply interact with the living as or even when we brushed against each other unintentionally in the grove. And it was obvious that nothing had happened, when an almost unattainable hope finally welled up in my heart. When I thought that perhaps my touch would no longer bring sorrow, fate declared to me, it wasn't that the curse of death had finally been lifted, but that your soul no longer belonged to this world. And there was nothing left for my hands to take. Nothing. And did I really think this time would be any different? It's not that I don't understand this reality, just that I'm unwilling to accept it. Having walked such a long road, I am still unable to find the answer to life and death. I am resigned to eternal despair. Anything I wish to hold on to, death will inevitably wrest from my grasp. From that moment on, I lacked the courage to confirm it again. Until Ornyx laid bare the cruel truth before us. But now, perhaps I might have one last chance. Long ago, Trinan read a prophecy to me. At the end of the Sea of Flowers, the souls of the living shall warm thy fingertips, and after an embrace, there shall be eternal separation. I found no surprise in it, for her words sounded not like a foretelling, but a perfect reflection of my past. Embraces in this world are born of reunions, yet my touch speaks only of farewells. And yet, things have taken a turn for the better. Now that I can finally have an audience with Thanatos, perhaps I can rewrite the meaning of that fated prophecy. I have no reason not to give it my all. For your sake, and for my own. With that, I won't have any regrets. Let's put that aside for the moment. We've arrived. I want to retrieve a small gift I specially prepared for you. I made it myself, like the trinket I gave Lady Trianne. The journey to seek an audience with the Death Titan cannot be an easy one. No, it isn't. You'll know when you see it. Look, it's right there. Huh? Where did it go? What's going on? This is the coin of Zagreus and a slate. So it's her. No doubt about it. This is her favorite symbol. It's a Lady Cypher, the demigod of Zagreus whom Lady Aglaia had spoken of. She's a master thief who's left legendary tales all over Amphorius. So many years have passed, yet she's still announcing herself in such a crass manner. Let's just do as the slate says and look for Lady Cypher. Look, it's right there.
There seems to be a new show at the Bastion.
We must pursue her. trick she left for us. She's incorrigible. Follow me. This is how it should be. We must pursue her. Ha! Lady Cypher, please come on out.
You're still careless as ever. Shouldn't you keep such a precious gift near your bosom?
Since you know it's a gift for someone else, please give it back to me. Stop hiding among the people and letting the wind carry your voice.
Now, since I know it's a gift, that just means I need to milk its worth. The children of the wind never stay for long in one place. Unless your offer is tempting enough to still the wind.
Name your price. I'll give you however much you want. I'm sorry. Bargaining is really not my forte.
No wonder they call you Princess Homebody. Why don't you two come over to my place? It'll make a better venue for proper business discussions. You can find where I live through the winds I've sown.
Piece of cake. I can do that even if I can only sense your soul.
All right, I'll see you there. Oh, by the way, everyone cool with me collecting a deposit before we reach an agreement, right? Now, come this way.
She's incorrigible. Follow me. Here we are.
Over here! Over here! No, not that way! This way! Come on. If I really wanted to hide, you'd never find me. So relax, you two. No need to get your hackles up. I'm not that scary, am I? Meow. No way. Some people might have been into that a millennium ago, but it's long since gone out of style. Loosen up, buddy. Shall we get down to business?
Give me the jewelry piece first. Or everything's off the table.
Oh, come now. Don't be so upset. Relax. Relax. Look, isn't the view here just great? You can see what everyone is doing and where they're going. Now that we've broken the ice, let's get to the point. Everything I've said so far has been a joke. 1. The seamstress found me and wants me to take you to Styxia to look for the Death Titan. 2. The Council of Elders also found me and wants me to make sure the core flame of Thanatos ends up in their hands. And last, but not least, I'm telling you that I'm not interested in doing either of those things. Don't go look for the Death Titan. The end. Wow, this is some high-quality stuff. And this room is full of it. How much are these worth, Did you get all this through that Aranova gimmick?
Some of it is family fortune, while the rest came from my business as a dressmaster. Don't liken the flame chase work to your shady dealings.
Wow. I should have busted down your door instead of going around like a thief. Well, spill. Why are you giving me so much money?
Payment for doing work.
Did you forget my stance to all this? I thought I made myself very clear.
You wish to run away. Run away from your responsibilities, from the prophecy, and from your destiny. I understand this prophecy weighs on you immensely. That is why I have never reproached the demigod of trickery for running away. But I need you right now, so don't turn me down.
You know, maybe the gods got your tongue with their golden threads, Aglaya. I'm not hearing any sincerity in your words. Give me a reason why you're bowing your noble head to me.
We lost Trian.
Oh.
The divine power of passages is running out. I need another demigod to escort Castoris and help her fulfill her lifelong wish.
Oh, I get it now. You're sending Castoris to her death. And you want me to die with her.
This is Castoris's own request. I have never seen her so determined.
She brought this up herself? You're not pulling my leg.
She's also made up her mind to leave her confused past behind. As will you, Cypher, when you finally make up your mind.
Don't be so sure. Time is hard on the likes of you and I. but Castris remains pure as driven snow. She can always turn back before the end, you know? Maybe she'll remember Trian's sacrifice. Maybe she'll remember the countless martyred Chrysos heirs. Maybe she'll remember you, with your one foot in the grave. I ain't as optimistic as you about what she'll want to do. Tell you what. Why don't I take this room of treasures as a security deposit, and we make a bet?
Go on.
I bet she'll change her mind and turn back. Now, if I lose, I'll do what you want me to do. Return this deposit to you, plus giving you another room full of treasures. How does that sound?
You sound like you have all the confidence in the world. In that case, let's make a pact with those conditions. I hope you're prepared to lose it all.
In conclusion, I want to win. So I hope you two can give up on going to Styxia. I'll give all the treasures in that room to you. And you can split it between yourselves, however you want. What do you think? Tempting, right?
I decline. If we don't find the Death Titan, his soul will...
Oh?
I can't go into the details, but we have to go to Styxia.
I really don't get how. Princess, homebuddy, you keep talking about needing to find Thanatos, about getting rid of your curse, and you don't care about anything else. But did you ever live for your own pleasure? Even for just one day?
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying, contrary to your beliefs, Aglaia didn't take you in just so you can die for her Aranova.
The flame chase journey walks hand in hand with sacrifices. Isn't that why you're always running away from Lady Aglaia?
Fine. Never mind. We all have our own problems. I ain't gonna say anything anymore. It's not like I was gonna honor that bet anyway. But listen to me. Styxia is no tourist destination. Sure, the treasures buried in there are 10, no, 50 times richer than Aglaia's vault. Yet, I've never been there. And I never plan to. Because even a demigod can't be sure they can walk out of that place alive. And now I'm supposed to escort you to Styxia. Sure. Pay up. You know, you're not wrong. At least it's part of my responsibilities.
I don't like this. However, I have lived a longer life than most people. Though I'm not as good at doing business as Lady Aglaia, I still have some savings. I can give them all to you.
Then how are you going to live the rest of your life?
Then I'll give you 90. No, 80%.
Well, don't mind if I do. 80% of Castris's savings and a bottle of dew of divine blood. Not a bad trade. Okay. I didn't know you hold grudges. Gray mystery. Here! Catch.
Be careful with that!
A minor change in plans, though. Don't go to the bath tomorrow.
I hate this Pokemon so much.
Gates instead.
So, why are you changing the meeting place?
Oh, nothing really. Just a bit scared of the seamstress's frosty face. I wouldn't stay a second longer in Alchemy if it were up to me. Well, now that we've struck a deal, why don't I give you guys a lift back?
God damn it, Executor, what the fuck?
It's gonna be a long ride. So have a good rest.
What the fuck? Another Executor? What the actual fuck?
Nice.
Bright and sunny. Just the weather for farewells.
You're here.
Totally. The trio team is the best set up to reach the finals. No need, I already told her. She's fine with it. You sure know how to put me in a spot, Castorus. I need to travel with you, but I can't touch you. What a bother.
Sorry.
Oh, I was just teasing. Don't take it to heart. Did you know that the legends say you have to put an obol into the mouth of the dead or over their eyes if you want them to successfully cross the River of Souls and enter the Netherrealm? That's the fairy fare for entering the Netherrealm. However, I honestly won't ask you to pay this time. I'll pay. And then we'll just have to go through the motions. Hey! I'm just trying to make this journey feel more special, okay? Don't read too much into it. All right, pass me the coin. It's time to get the gods' powers going. A fleet-footed trip to the Netherrealm. Here we come. Oh, one last thing before we go. I gotta give you this piece of advice. Especially to you, Princess Homebody. You can't catch the wind by waiting. You only live once. So make the most of every moment you have. Get ready. Be steady. Hi, your turn. Don't be nervous. After all, it'll be gone in the blink of an eye. All done. Bye-bye.
Are you feeling all right? She's the demigod of trickery. When she flips the coin of whimsy into the air, she gains incredible speed that lets her travel anywhere in an instant. Just like how she clearly had no intention of lingering here for even a second longer. We can only depend on ourselves for the rest of the way.
Don't worry. Mem's here to help. I don't think I even meet the height requirement for the ticket, so I won't need one, right?
This is Styxia, the city of dragons and waves. Anaxa hypothesizes that the missing Thanatos is somewhere in these ruins. This is the land of their birth. Or perhaps of their death. Anaxa had used a secret alchemical art to temporarily fuse his soul with Circe's and Kephae. And when he was on the verge of death, he was pulled by Thanatos and caught a glimpse of the flowing river of souls. This alchemy, considered a sacrilegious act, might actually make the souls of mortals and titans attract each other. Even though Thanatos has been missing for 1,000 years, and even their followers haven't been able to find them. Perhaps...
Oh! So are we going to use that Philosopher's Stone to conjure the Titan?
I guess that's the only way. The only leads we have now are the name of this city and the fairy tale about the dragon.
Thanatos is even more mysterious than I am.
Indeed. Even one as erudite as Anaxa could only point us to this place, and no further. We will be entering the unknown as soon as we take our first steps. But that won't be the first time in my long journeys. I believe that rather than standing still, taking action is by far the better option. Perhaps fate might take pity on us today and show some compassion.
Go back whence you came. Go back. Ahead. beautiful butterfly.
This is a eulogistic butterfly. In Idonia, some think of them as manifestations of Thanatos' benevolence. By turning the lingering obsessions of the deceased into these creatures, others think of them as Thanatos' messengers.
The second theory sounds more believable. After all, the things they're saying are rather, direct.
Perhaps. But the fact that we're able to hear their whispers proves that we're fast approaching the realm of the dead. These shadowy figures. Are they illusions reflected by the...
Mommy told us to go ahead first, but... 1, 2... Perhaps Mommy will be back. Once you finish counting the days on... 1, 2...
Strange. For reflections in the River of Souls, they seem oddly animated.
Do you want to buy any fish?
Huh? He can see it?
Wait. More living people. I'm not selling my fish to living people. You will...
Could it be that... You're all dead...
The nether realm does not exist. Titan rejects you. Me.
So, do you want to buy any fish?
But there aren't any fish nearby.
Are the fish gone? I can only...
Apologies. I don't have much in the way of savings. Please relax. May you fall asleep peacefully.
This...
I knew it. These people aren't illusions. They're the souls of the deceased. They're supposed to reach the end of the West Wind by floating down the River of Souls. Yet, they have floundered upon the shoals of the stream, unable to move forward. Did Thanatos reject them? Or perhaps they didn't really die at all? I have no idea. This circumstance is completely unprecedented. Hang on. Didn't he say more living people? Could it be that these souls are stuck here due to someone's deceit?
If something is done out of goodwill, are you really gonna call it deceit?
Goodwill? I can't see anything good out of... Wait a minute. Lady Cypher?
That's me. I still belong to the land of the living as of now. Thank you very much.
Could it be that you are the living being that those souls met?
Ugh, I couldn't take their behavior anymore. So I stole some things here and made up some lies there. Just trying to give them something to look forward to, you know?
It's because of vile living creatures like you that we're being misunderstood by all of them.
What else am I supposed to do? You can see the mess this place is in. These poor souls are denied by the Nether Realm. Did you see those two blacksmiths on the way? They've been here for as long as the sun's been around.
Then why have you come back, Lady Cypher?
Hey, I'm not here to aid your adventure. I hate water more than anything else in this world. Especially that stinky river of souls. But, I just discovered some stuff before I left. It's about that boy who defied death. I found traces of him here.
Lord Mighty?
Oh, right! That's his name. Well, now you know. As for whether that info is actually useful, that's for you lot to figure out. So long, Princess Homebody. So long, Grey Mystery.
Huh? She disappeared just like that?
Lady Cypher has always been a free spirit. If Lord Mighty is also somewhere along the river shoals right now, then he will certainly become our signpost. After all, he's different from those wandering souls.
Don't worry. It's time for me to shine. Ornyx's rune of recollection is nearby. Use prayers to return the river to before it got flooded. Hey, over here!
Ornyx's miracle has appeared.
Amazing! It's like we're inside a giant bubble. Even the river got parted.
Is that all? Looks good.
There are wandering souls of the deceased here as well. We must first return to the present before we can communicate with them.
Receive divinity. The dead return!
Root here. As you wish.
Delivering warmth! Like the west wind, away we go!
Bloom.
Embrace a new life. May wandering souls find their own way out. Emerge from your cocoon. May death protect us! Root here.
Receive divinity.
Like the west wind, away we go!
Bloom. Repay. Receive divinity. The dead return!
As you wish. Embrace a new life. May death protect us! I want to make something with it. But what to make? something. Make sure you keep it safe. Let's take a picture.
By the looks of it, you must be the foreign warriors that since the current campaign requires the utmost care.
Foreign warrior?
A priestess, a warrior, and
What?
A campaign? Who are you campaigning against?
Nobody knows. Of the scouts that went ahead, only one has managed to return. As for the rest of the scouts...
An unprecedented...
It seems...
A world that has never seen death. Looks like these people lived in the era Chrysia. May I ask?
So he returned to Styxia. He only had enough left in him to last no more than half a day. He said that he witnessed the demonic specter of an evil dragon at that treacherous land.
Styxia.
It all sounds rather familiar. Wait, wasn't this part of that fable?
Sir, could I ask how the Queen and Princess are doing?
The Queen?
Oh, it's the same lines.
Leave it to me. Sir, the war ended long ago. Styxia no longer exists.
Styxia is no more? This cannot stand! Newcomers!
Oh, looks like it's difficult for this gentleman to accept reality.
Sir, I am the Maiden of War, sent here by the Queen herself.
Maiden of War?
Don't worry. I'm typically unwilling to prolong such a moment.
Is it over?
Cass! Oh, are you alright?
I'm fine. Is this a remnant of his soul?
Well then, why should I place my trust in you, holy maiden from afar?
Wait. This is... I don't quite understand what you're trying to say.
Since the prophecy has already pronounced your name as Chrysos, heir of death, Alchemy ought to treat you as an esteemed guest. However, you seem to have no intentions of concealing your involvement with the Council of Elders.
I cannot deny your claim. It was the council that offered this room to me. And they had only one request. I was agreeable to that request.
But why?
I am unable to rid myself of this innate curse. However, from this day onward, I shall use it according to your will.
I see. So that is how they plan to control the Flame Chase journey. They have shifted the heavy responsibility of granting death over to me. If I ever become obsessed with executing people, they will then have ample reason to terminate the Chrysos Heir's journey.
And yet, you seem to not mind.
That's because the fate that we were born with is a burden far heavier than that of an individual's life. I've woven many unforeseen events into the tapestry of fate. Tidy up your precious garments and come with me. Alchemy welcomes you, Casterus.
I didn't think we'd find vestiges of memory here.
Perhaps, but I do not need a reminder from them. I really want to repay her for that trust, but why would this memory appear right now?
Could these dead monsters actually be...
If Lady Cypher is to be believed, this could be the handiwork of Lord Mighty.
Why are the Black Tide monsters...
Even Thanatos wouldn't be able to accept these traces seem to suggest that anybody who trespasses upon... Since the realm of the dead must remain peaceful, please stay back. Let me deal with these enemies.
As you wish.
Receive divinity.
Fighting the West Wind, away we go!
Bloom. Repay.
Embrace a new life. May wandering souls find their own way out. The path ahead is blocked by the River of Souls again.
In that case, let's go back to the past. This miracle sure is handy.
This is yet another aspect of a Titan's divine power.
Let's wait.
Emerge from your cocoon.
Repay.
May death protect us!
Receive divinity. The dead return!
Fighting the West Wind, away we go!
Root here. As you wish.
Bloom.
Embrace a new life. May death protect us! Let's take a picture. Make sure you keep it safe.
If Dan Heng was around, he'd definitely be able to raise the waters of the River of Souls into the sky.
If Lady Hycelins was still alive, I think she might be able to do that too. The path ahead is blocked by the River of Souls again.
In that case, let's go back to the past. This miracle sure is handy.
This is yet another aspect of a Titan's divine power. I've seen puzzles like this in books. You seem to be able to discern both the past and the future. Make sure you keep it safe. It's...
Oh, this place.
I want to make something with it. But what to make? Please excuse me. I am but a scholar from a
This one.
Oh, I was. And you. You. I'm sorry. I'm well aware of that. Even if you were able to revive me, I would never choose that option. That's because I didn't fall into the River of Souls by accident. Why? If you could see the life I've led, then you would not reproach me so. But I did not expect things to stay the same even in death. What a joke. Cersei's above. What cowards humans are. I'm sorry. That's all right, Holy Maiden. At least you are able to respond to me. Cersei's above. Does this count as thinking till the moment I die? I have seen too many farewells. Her distress is quite commonplace. For some people, this power that I possess is a blessing rather than a curse. But I never managed to convince myself of that.
Cass?
Yes, because when placed under time's vast scales, there is no worry in this world that cannot be solved. This is a wish that I've held for almost a millennium. My mind might have changed once upon a time if people managed to strike up a friendship with me, but I've never been more firm in my conviction. Now that I've learned about your near-death state, it is my duty to wipe death from the face of this world.
You chose the wrong enemy.
Root here.
Eternal step.
Dead return!
As you wish.
No bullying allowed!
Embrace a new life.
not gonna return to the past to steal things. Do we need to enter that doorway to climb even higher? There seems to be a person. Oh, more like a soul guarding it.
But how should we get up there? The path is blocked yet again.
Oryx's 8 always appears in times like this. How convenient.